Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the French Tier 8 Tech Tree medium tank, the AMX 5100. Now this tank used to be a heavy way back in the day, and then they changed it to a medium tank because it had the similar playstyle to a medium tank because it basically has absolutely zero armor, it's got mobility, and it's got this 6-shot auto loader. Why they did that, I don't think anyone really knows. It was the most weirdest change ever, but it is what it is. And yeah, we've got the 5100, a tank that I truly have never liked. Yeah, I've never liked the 5100 ever. I hated it back when it was, well, just back in the day before it got buffed. And that was because back in the day it had, like, no elevation, which it still doesn't. But it also had, like, no gun depression for some reason. It was, like, 6 degrees for a tank that is so tall. And it just made it an absolute pain in the ass to play. But then they buffed it, gave it, like, the 9 degrees of gun depression or whatever it's got now. And it became far more bearable, but it still wasn't quite my kind of tank, because while it is filthy when you catch someone out with this thing and you manage to dump a whole clip into someone, I mean, the other day you're dumping an 1800 clip into someone. If you catch someone out, you're going to clip them out, and most tanks at tier 8 you are going to clip out with this gun, and it's really filthy. But the problem is, because the intra-clip reload is pretty long at 2.73 seconds, and you have so many shells, the moment you start firing at someone, you're probably going to get hit once, maybe twice. And you've really got to sort of be careful on when you choose to fire, who you choose to fire at, and on taking a hit. Naturally, this tank is very good at the end game when, you know, you need to start clearing up, you need to start sweeping up, because if you have the hit points, you can just start coming in, clipping people out, and absolutely slapping, which is definitely very nice thing for the tank to do. And yeah, it can be enjoyable when you do get those shots out, but it's just mightily frustrating, because the other thing that is with this gun, because you have such a long aim time, and because your accuracy is not the best in the universe, this gun, especially at range, loves to absolutely derp everywhere. Even in this 6.0 day and age, it loves to just miss shots that it really totally shouldn't have. And you sit there going, 5100, why? Why do you have to do this to me? Why do you hate me so much? You know, and it can be really frustrating. But like I say, it can be also pretty deadly. As you've just seen with the first clip where we managed to do 1568 damage, that was by missing just one shot, and, you know, that's always beautiful to have. But the intricate reload is long, the aim time is long at 3 seconds as well. That's part of the reason why it's so horrible, and because it's got pretty bad dispersions while turning turret on the move after firing, etc. It does bloom out quite a bit, but you can do quite a bit to, you know, help that out. And again, 6.0 world has definitely made that a lot nicer in the fact that, you know, you have all the gun perks and the gun actually becomes pretty usable, to be fair. You can snap the odd shot here and there. The bloom doesn't bloom out anywhere near as much as it used to, which is nice, which means you don't have to suffer the 3-second aim time as much. And yeah, you know, you can do pretty decent with it. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the AMX 5100? Well, on this French Tier 8 Tech Tree tank, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Track Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving because your tank is very fast. You've got a 50 km/h top speed, or 51 km/h top speed anyway. And you do have a decent power to weight, but you want to help it with just getting rid of the ground resistances, because it is an old school tank. It hasn't been touched since it got the PC gun depression buff years ago, and I mean years ago. This tank line has basically is just a sort of a relic of times gone, right? That it's never been touched. It's still the same as it was back then, and the terrain resistances are really quite bad. So you want to help it as much as you can with that perk, and all the gun perks, like I say, because for all the reasons I've listed, this gun is absolutely horrible and it likes to miss shots everywhere. So help it out as much as you can with all the gun perks and you'll be fine. And I'd take Track Mechanic because this tank has a big side profile. It gets shot in the tracks, you get tracked, you stop dead, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to repair tracks and get going as quickly as possible, because this thing has absolutely no armor, and if someone looks at you or sniffs and sneezes at you, it's not going to go well for you. So yeah, get your tracks back on. And in terms of equipment, I actually run a GLD, so the gun lane drive, vert stabs, and the coated optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself because I can get myself up to a 486 meters view range, which is great, and that means I'm not blind, which is always something you want to not be. Then, like I say, vert stabs to make the gun as good as humanly possible, and a gun lane drive because you've seen, like on this ridgeline where I've been sat still a lot, I just want to help the aim time out because 3 seconds aim time is complete trash for this vehicle, and it makes it really awkward to use this clip at times. And I want to get it down. I can get it down to 2.43 with the GLD, and without the GLD it's like 2.7. So that extra 3 is definitely a beautiful thing to have. And yeah, that just makes this tank a lot more bearable than it used to be, and it makes it a lot nicer to play. It's still not a tank that I like. I don't really enjoy this tank whatsoever, but it is what it is. We roll with it, and we're having some pretty nice, we had 2 pretty nice games in it. And we finished this game that you've just seen on Westfield, which is a typical Ridgeline brawl, with 4 kills, 4.1k damage, 1100 assistance, the ace tanker, and 1974 base XP. A really great game for the 5100 in a tier 9 game. It was pretty good for the tank, and in that one, really, it showed that, if you use the opportunities to get your clip out there and choose your moments, you can get some big damage out with the tank. Because there, we didn't just sit out and keep dumping clips into people. When someone started to look at us, we went, okay, I'm going to pull back behind the ridgeline, stay safe, and everyone sort of stopped looking at us, pull back out and deliver the rest of the clip. And then choosing moments to reload and not to as well. And it was, yeah, a pretty standard Westfield game for that sort of area. We had sort of team to help us and stuff like that. And this second replay, we are on this map, which is, it's drum roll, we're going to get there. Vineyards, that's the one, isn't it? There we go, we got the map in the end. And we have spawned on this side. And this side, I don't like the south of the map. The JK line is not a very nice map. It's not a very nice line to fight for our spawn, because their sniper hill is so much better than ours. And if you poke out and have to attack anyone that pushes aggressively to K5, is it? Yeah, K5, they are going to just sit there and keep spotting you, and you're going to keep getting whittled down, and there's not much you can do to actually push them out, unless you just YOLO into the middle, in which case it's a do or die play, it's feast or famine. So I like to come up to this position at A5-6, because at least I can fight it, and I can try and spot people out like you're seeing here, which is a pretty nice snapshot on the Ag Panther 2 there, and I can try and keep working people out with my shots, and I can sort of push towards their base location, which is nice. And if I've got people in the base, like you see in here, we've got quite a lot of people in our base spawn hill, we might be able to get some spotting for ourselves as well. And as you see, some of these tanks are just sitting here and letting us shoot them, which is nice. So far, we've got 2 out of 3 shots in, because one was a snapshot on the CS52 list that missed. We've got one to the Projecto 65, and it's like, just please, people, keep giving me these shots. You are juicy tanks to shoot at. And 5100 likes this. I mean, I've got 232 pen on the standard rounds, 263 on the premium. It's the standard tier 8 French heavy, the standard tier 8 French gun at tier 8, isn't it? Because this gun is on, like, most of the tanks, actually, at tier 8. It's on the AMX M449, it's on the AP AMX 30 that's just come out, it's on this tank, it's on the Samua, well, a version of it is on the Samua, it's on, is it on the CDC? No, it's on some other tanks as well. It's just on everything, really. It's an all-purpose gun that is pretty solid. It's a pretty solid gun, depending on what the tank is and what the stats are of it, because 300 alpha at tier 8 is nice, and the penetration at 232 and 263 is absolutely fantastic in it, and you're going to have a good time with that, really. So far, we've pushed aggressively. These guys didn't realise I was reloading, which is exactly a strength of an autoloader, right? Because they didn't see me fire any more shells from a little while ago, so they all really hesitated to push me, and I managed to get safe, and now I'm reloaded. We managed to, fortunately enough, dodge that Earthshaker as he tried to RBR tiers, and we used the strength of the 5100, and we pop round, finish off the Earthshaker, finish off the Ag Panther 2, and deliver our final 2 shells into the CS52 list. And he should now push over and try and shoot me, but I do have friends with us that is actually sort of probably making them hesitate on it. We managed to get the reload in, and like I said, we took one hit there. We took one hit from the CS52 list to get rid of the Jagdpanther 2, the Earthshaker, and then deliver 2 hits into that 52 list, which got rid of like 600 of his health. And we're up to 2.2k damage. That's the strength of auto-loaders in general. That's the strength of the 5100. We managed to deal so much damage in one go that we are really knocking the enemy team's teammates out. We're knocking those numbers down. And we're nearly reloaded again, which is great, because that is the other thing about this 5100 is that thing is, it's got a 40.5 second reload, which is very, very long. And sometimes, oh, don't, by the way, this thing gets ammo racked all the time as well, and you don't want to get ammo racked because it goes up to like over nearly 2-minute reload, and it's terrible. And by the way, this is also the strength of the tank, and unfortunately that bounced. Strength of the tank there, that projectile 65, sorry, tier 10. I may have taken 2 hits there, but I decided, you know what, for a tier 10 medium tank, I know I can deliver out all the clips and I can shoot at him. But I'd seen him fire earlier on at the medium tanks, and I thought maybe he'd fired his whole clip, because some people do that in projectile 65s. I was wrong. He managed to get 2 or 3 shots into us, which knocks us down quite a lot to only 334 hit points, which is not exactly what we want to be on. But yeah, you've got to be careful with the ammo rack on this tank, because the reload is very, very long. And if you do get ammo racked, it goes to like, yeah, it's like 1.5 minute reloads, stuff like that. And if you haven't managed to get your repair kit back in yet, it's not going to end well for you. You're going to end up spending most of the game reloading, and it's really, really painful. Like, very painful to have that sort of reload. And yeah, the reload is long. But you do have an 1800 clip, which is definitely fabulous when you get to use it, and you can be pretty effective. So we've got 4 shells left in the clip, but I have no hit points, and I don't want to push forward because it's a tier 10 game. And yeah, so I'm just letting other people go forward to spot. We've got a light tank, you know, it's the light tank's job. And now they've spotted up the T-50 Heavy. We're just trying to hit it. As you can see, like, where are these shots going? We do manage to get the last one in. Some of those shots were just nearly fully aimed on, pretty much only the T-57 Heavy in the lock-in sights. And it's just like, nah, you know what? That piece of floor, that ground looked fantastic. And unfortunately, they missed. That's where the derpiness of the 5100 gun is in. Like I say, those shots can be really annoying when it does that. But it is what it is. We're up to 4.5k damage. There's 2 tanks left. We're loading the premium rounds because basically that's all we've got left. There's the Leopard one in this corner over here that's currently spotted. I'm thinking, can I get there? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what he does. If he YOLOs over, then no chance. If he stays in that corner, then maybe. TD gets spotted down below as well. It's an AMX AC-48, and Turkey goes in on him, unfortunately gets shut down. But I'm like, okay, so he's fired 1. This guy can definitely kill me, but he's looking at someone else. So let's just see if we can get in and get some shots in. So we try and get 1 into his side to get another shot in. He fires another 2, and that's all he's got. Well, 3 actually. He must have reloaded after he killed Turkey, but he fired all 3 shots, and that meant that I knew I could basically kill him, and we managed to get the couple of kills there. And we finished with the victory. The 3 kills, 4.9k damage, 104 assistance, ace tanker, 985 base XP. A really nice game for the 5100 in bottom tier matchup. Really showed the effectiveness of the clip, really, to be honest. With just when you catch people out, you deliver such a devastating blow to them. But also the derpiness of the gun, where, like shooting that T-57 Heavy, and it's just like, you know what, the floor looks great, I'm just going to keep hitting the floor because lol. 5100 is a very, very frustrating tank. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!